Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Bad Thoughts Studios. Today, I got the boys from Orange Grove 55 crew joining me. We are doing a trailer reaction to Fantastic Four. Just came out the new trailer today, so we're going to give you guys our first reactions. Before we get started, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, so you guys are notified once the video is uploaded. We're five away from 600, so we're almost there. Boys, want to introduce you guys. George, I'll start with you. Tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. And thanks, Tone, so much for inviting us on here to do these do another trailer reaction. I love doing these, and especially with Fantastic Four. I'm very hyped up about this film. I'm hoping that it doesn't disappoint, because just based off of the first trailer that we got to see, I was super excited. So can't wait to see this one. So, and again, thank you for having me on.
Of
And if
course.
you like to find me on social media, you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You could also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me on my home base on Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info. And you could also check out my new YouTube channel and Instagram, Citrico Central, sister channel to Orange Grove 55.
Yes,
There he
sir. I
is.
will put his YouTube channel at the in the description below, so make sure you guys go check him out. And Orange Grove 55 himself, what's going on?
What's going on, Tones Poppy? Always a pleasure being on Bad Thought Studio. Thank you for having us today. Can't wait to talk Fantastic Four, dip into this Marvel stuff. Exciting time. But yeah, you can find me on Orange Grove 55 on YouTube. We talk a lot about theme parks, but we also dip into the studio side as well. And you can find me on Instagram, Orange Grove 55, and on X, Orange Grove 55.
Yes, sir. Anything Disney, guys, make sure you guys go give them a follow. They cover literally everything, parks, the business side of things. They also go outside the box a little bit, but you guys go check them out. Everything will be in the description below. But boys, I want to start off with this. This movie, to me, and Superman are the two, I guess, superhero slash movies anticipated to do very, very well this year. A lot of people are anticipating $1 billion. Is going to be competing with Superman. I believe Fantastic Four pushed back their release date. I think it was like a week or two, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Because of the release date of Superman. So there's going to be some competition within these two. But I'll start with you, George. How do you see this movie doing in the box office? Do you think it's going to be bigger than Superman? Do you think there's going to be some, good, I guess, reviews on this movie?
I think honestly, right out of the gate of the first trailer that I ended up seeing, it's a completely different take on what any of the other Fantastic Four movies attempted to do. So I do love the different style look of the film. It does spark that interest to say, okay, like, how is this going to be? Is this going to be the whole film, kind of like this 1960s like retro kind of thing, and then with Galactus coming in, destroying their planet, and then how does the Fantastic Four end up in our kind of time zone in the MCU? So all these questions. So I could definitely foresee that there is a lot of spark on social media that people are really anticipating this film. As far as it going kind of head to head with Superman, I feel like that's some good competition. I think for both ends of the film spectrum. I feel like that Fantastic Four is going to give Superman a run for its money, and vice versa. And I think it was very smart for Marvel to kind of push it back a week or so, to kind of give some breathing room. Not saying that they fear of that Superman is going to overtake them, but it's always great just to have your own window, to kind of let some air out while Superman's doing its thing, and then Fantastic Four can step in. But I'm very excited to have how they throw in like some of that comedy we saw from the first trailer. And then obviously we didn't even get to see really any scenes of like them fighting and what have you. But I mean, that's actually a positive thing. The fact that they didn't even come out the gate with anything like spectacular of battling and what have you, just kind of like an intimate moment with the four main characters, and people are already having like this buzz talk that this is going to be a great movie, definitely gives me positive hope for it.
And you bring up a good point, George, that this movie put it out at a good time, and here's why. We got the announcement that that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Doom in Doomsday. We get the announcement of Doomsday. We get the announcement of the characters playing in Doomsday. And the great point that you brought up is that we don't know how the Fantastic Four are going to be introduced into, you know, the Avengers world, or the, you know, the, I guess, the canon world that we're in. But here's my prediction is on how they're going to introduce it or tell us. In this movie, they're going to tell us, not in the actual movie, in the end credit scene. We got the announcement of Doctor Doom pretty early on. We get the announcement that the Fantastic Four are going to be in Doomsday. So I do think the end credit scene in this movie is going to give us some insight on how the Fantastic Four are going to be brought into that universe. And I do think Doctor Doom might be featured in that end credit scene.
I think so. I think there are some chatter online that I don't know if it was officially confirmed by Marvel, but there were talks that RDJ was going to have a little mini cameo as Doom at the end of Fantastic Four. So, like, just that in itself, not even just to set the stage for Fantastic Four to be moving into like our realm of the MCU, but it sets the stage for Doomsday.
Absolutely.
100%. And I want to say real quick before I kind of chime in on the whole like Superman, like Fantastic Four thing, I really have a lot of respect for Robert Downey Jr. in this age of like cancel culture where you make one mistake 8 years ago or a decade ago and you're done, right?
Absolutely.
I like the fact that Robert Downey was rock bottom. I don't like the fact he was rock bottom, but I like the fact that he overcame, you know, he went to jail. He had a substance abuse problem, all that stuff. He overcame all those demons and look where he's at now, man. It's like, that's awesome, dude. And, you know, in this age of like cancel culture where like everything's like unforgivable and you're done, right? You're outcasted. It's good to see someone kind of like emerge, have a rough time and emerge and come out even stronger. That's really, really cool. People do change. And I think that's really awesome. So
no, absolutely. That's a great point. And not only did he overcome all that, he became one of the most well-known superheroes of all time as Iron Man. And he's not only that, he's coming back playing one of the most feared villains that is in the MCU that we've ever seen.
And he basically set the whole pace for the MCU.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, I can't imagine anyone else being Iron Man. So who even knows if you know, Jon Favreau did cast somebody else? And kudos to Jon Favreau, because he could have went a completely different route, but he literally put all his eggs in one basket for Downey. And as I said, kudos to him, because if it could have been anybody else, it could have been a shitstorm.
Well, it could have been. Sure. It could have been, and this at the time of this at the time of this recording, we're about to enter into Star Wars Celebration. And that's why I really like Favreau, and that's why I think he should run Star Wars, because he built the MCU. He's the granddaddy of the MCU. I mean, this guy understands. He's a nerd, but he understands the business. He understands, you know, how things work, and he's a creative. He's just perfect, man. He'd be great to run Lucasfilm. But I don't want to digress too much. But you know, Tones, to answer your question too about the Superman competition factor, I think we're going to be okay. I think there's enough breathing room. But here's the thing. I think good content is good content, and I think people will line up for both at the end of the day. You know, I think if James Gunn's Superman is awesome, which I think it will be, because James Gunn's brilliant, and if this Fantastic Four movie is any good, which I think it will be as well, I think superhero fans are going to come out for both of these films. I mean, we've even seen like recently, just a couple, like 2 summers ago now, Barbie Heimer, or whatever they called it, with
Oppenheimer and Barbie movie.
Yeah, you know, you had these juggernauts going against each other, and they both were able to do amazing box office results. So every summer, though, even aside from that, every summer we see a slew of box office hits, blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster, with very little runway between each release. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these movies still perform. So if Superman and Fantastic Four, if they're good movies, they're getting good word of mouth, I think both of these movies will do very, very well. And for me right now, I'm hyped for both of them. I'm excited. I'm excited. I want DC, dude. I want DC to freaking soar. No Superman joke intended, but I want DC to soar because DC has some great characters. And Warner Brothers has really been kind of going through it lately with their animation. I want at least DC to be running on like full steam ahead and really kick off this new phase of the DC universe. And I'm rooting for it. I really am. And if you have one guy doing it, James Gunn he'll deliver.
That's what I was just gonna say, really quick, bro.
Yeah. No, do your thing.
Because I lost honestly, unfortunately, just like with Star Wars, I kind of lost my faith with DC. And I thought, okay, another Superman movie. Okay, let's see how the trailer goes and everything. But when James Gunn was attached to this, that gave me some like optimistic positivity that that this is going to be good, because honestly, James Gunn, despite of how many people feel of him personally, he's a hell of a filmmaker.
Oh yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is like with James Gunn is like he took a franchise that nobody knew, like Guardians. The normies didn't know anything. If you didn't read the comics, you don't know who Guardians of the Galaxy is, and he took that and it became one of Marvel's most successful franchises. Yeah, one of the most beloved franchises within the MCU. So, I mean, if he can do that with these obscure characters, what can he do with Superman, bro?
He was so good as a director for Guardians that I think his name is Batista. If I'm not mistaken,
Dave Batista.
He said on an interview that he will not play Dax ever again unless he is the director of the movie.
Yeah,
he's not going back to the character.
He petitioned for Gunn when he was going through all that backlash, when they thought that, well, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was still moving forward, but they were going to move forward without Gunn. And Bautista said that if James isn't going to direct it, he says, I'm not being Drax.
Well, and that's kind of another comeback story, right? We talked about Robert Downey to a lesser degree, obviously, because Robert Downey went through some major stuff, but like James Gunn went through some major stuff too. He went through that cancel culture, like, ringer for like a while. I mean, and all these, Disney dropped him, right? And all this stuff. And because of tweets from like a decade ago or something, which is like ridiculous, but he came out of that. And he came out of that and he survived it, and now he's thriving, which is good to see. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously
I signed the petition to bring him back.
Yeah,
I was part of that petition.
Like I said, people change, and this dude made some jokes like a decade ago. You're gonna hold him accountable for that? I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. But
yeah, I'm right with you boys. Like this cancel culture shit is just too much. Like, especially if you're digging up shit from years ago when most people who read those tweets or whatever it was, they know people change. Obviously he's a changed person. Like it's just insane to me.
Well, and tell us, to your point too, before we dive into the trailer and stuff, but to your point too, people change, and even society and the norms of society change. Like what's acceptable right now, what's not acceptable right now 10, 15, 20 years ago was perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
We have stuff now like, cultural appropriation, things like that, which people are very aware of now. But when I was in my early 20s, no one thought about that stuff in 2001 or something, right? Like times change. So how do you have to evolve with the time? So the society's changing, and then people change, and there's so many variables. So
absolutely. Yeah, it's great point, because shit that I said in high school, I would cancel for today, bro. Like,
you and me both, Tones. We'd be done. We'd be done, bro.
Oh man. But anyway,
today with the stuff I still say.
True.
That's true.
All right, boys. So this is our trailer reaction to the Fantastic Four First Steps, released today. Boys, ready?
I'm ready. Let's rock and roll.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Oops.
Wow, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head up into space and come back forever changed.
This car?
Our city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls. And while we can never repay them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you, Fantastic Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four.
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
So good.
Love it, man.
Herbie, how's that sauce looking? Okay. That is fantastic.
You're late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world. And you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. We are gonna be the best uncles ever.
We can do this. Nothing is going to change.
Dude, I love them as a couple, bro.
Oh, me too.
So good on the screen.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Silver Surfer.
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
He looks so good.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
Are we safe?
I don't know.
Looks like they're going back.
There's not enough time.
I'm not giving up. We will face this together. We will fight it together. As a family. Has to be us.
Finally!
Dude.
We will protect you.
That's great. And
Hold on.
beautifully shot, by the way.
Galactus, baby. Oh,
Yeah, fantastic, dude. I really, yeah, fantastic. No, I think it looks really, really good. I love that 1960s aesthetic, dude.
It's so
perfect.
visually to look. It's so visually cool to look at too, dude.
Based off of like what these trailers are looking to be, as I said, I have even higher hopes now, even from watching the first one into this one.
Yeah.
But what I love, what they can really do with the Fantastic Four is not even just setting the stage to move them into Doomsday. I want to see, even after this one, I want to see a standalone sequel for Fantastic Four. Like, I want to see their own story progress with their own individual franchise, intermixing with Doomsday and Secret Wars. But I think just them alone, I think honestly this is going to be a big blockbuster summer, not even just for Fantastic Four, but for also Superman. And also, you never even know of Jurassic Park Rebirth. I mean, all three movies are going to be coming out in July, so it's definitely going to be the summer of movies for sure.
Well, what's your opinion on the trailer, George?
For
the one we just watched. Yeah, what, like,
oh, as I said,
your thoughts?
It's well, I'm finally. I'm so glad we got to see them actually like in action. With something.
Thank you.
That I'm so happy to see that. But sometimes it makes you wonder, like, to say, "Oh gosh, is this going to be like a whole incomplete intro of the movie where they're just talking, and then at the very end you get one battle and then cut scene, that's it," But so I'm very glad to see, a little more extra backstory, that they're going to have a baby, there's some like kind of pull back and forth, like it's like, okay, they have to not only like protect themselves but protect humanity and what have you. We see Silver Surfer come in, and then we got more images. We got images of Galactus, but we still never really got to see like him.
Face, yeah.
That's good though. That's smart. You want to say,
you
want to save that. Which is the interesting thing about this is with the mid-century aesthetics and the we're a family but we're superheroes. It's given Incredibles vibes to me, which I love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's pretty dope, dude. I like that a lot.
The only thing I hope they do with Galactus is don't give us like a MODOK moment like they did with Ant-Man Quantumania. Please, for the love of God.
I think those days are behind us. I got to be honest, and maybe I'm being overly optimistic, overly Pollyanna-ish, but I think that whole stuff, Quantumania and all that stuff was really kind of like that pandemic era where they just like Chapek and they were just telling these studios to like churn out what like as much as you can. A lot of these visual effects. I know Marvel had issues with the visual effects company they use or what have you. I think all that stuff is kind of behind us. I think we're going to start seeing more quality. And this one looks great. This looks like the Marvel quality that I've come to expect, like from 2019 and before. You know what I'm saying? This is the Marvel that impressed me. And I think we're back, baby. I really do. This looks absolutely amazing.
And can I say I'm so glad that they actually made a home run on the aesthetic look of Thing, because the other films, like you could, obviously it's him, but they never touched like the same base quality how it was like in the comics or in the cartoons. But this movie, they actually hit the real look for him.
Absolutely. And it's like I said, visually, I could not have been any happier of what I saw. To your point, George, I am so glad they introduced or showed us the powers of them all. Like we got to see everybody use their powers in this trailer, and it was something that I was kind of curious why they weren't showing us Mr. Fantastic's powers for some reason. We didn't see anything in the trailers, but we get to see finally his fucking powers, and that was a relief for me because I didn't know why they were doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, the elephant in the room, if I'm not mistaken, Silver Surfer is a female, if I'm not mistaken, in this movie, right?
Yes.
Now, do you think, Tones, in your opinion, because in the day and age we live in, you know what I'm saying, is that going to be a problem? Or you think people, if she's dope, she's dope? Like for me, I don't care. If she's dope, she's dope. For me, I don't really care. I grew up in the 80s, right? Like with Nintendo, like with Metroid. And when they revealed that Samus was a woman, I'm like, oh, okay, that's dope, dude. That's pretty cool, right? It's hot, you know. But like, do you think we're in this new age we live in, this is gonna be an issue for some people, or
no? I mean, I don't read comics. I haven't read the comics, but I do know Silver Surfer was also a female within the comics, so they're sticking to that. That's my main is that they're sticking to, that kind of storyline. Because we're getting Secret Wars comic, we're getting Doomsday comic, we're getting Fantastic Four comic. So they're sticking to the source material. Fantastic Four, or Silver Surfer rather, she was a Silver Surfer within these comic books, that's the more important thing. I don't mind that it's a female. If the part is being played correctly, love it. Love the idea, because we got to remember, this isn't the Fantastic Four that we saw back in the day with Jessica Alba and with Jessica Alba, it was Jessica Alba, right?
Jessica Alba, yeah. And Chris Evans.
Yeah. Like that was the old Fantastic Four. We're getting a new version and a new timeline, or I don't know if it's a new timeline, but it's a new Fantastic Four, and that means we're getting new characters. And if a female Silver Surfer is what it is, so be it, as long as she plays the part right. And that goes for every character. Like, I don't even, like, if Pedro Pascal somehow fucks up Mr. Fantastic, like I would be more pissed, but he's not. That's never.
Nah.
He's you mentioned like the comics, and I never really watched. I never read the comics either. But when you look at these trailers, it does give you that comic book feel.
Yeah,
and I like that. Yeah. I like how it's not just like you're taking source material from the comics. Okay, let me turn it into how I see it, how I imagine it. Like every time so far, and that's a good thing. Like when I see the trailers for Fantastic Four, it looks as if it was ripped from the comics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It looks really, really good.
I'm sorry if I'm looking away because I'm trying to find Anthony Mackie had came out and said that. Right here. So I wanted to show you guys this real quick. So Anthony Mackie did an interview with Collider, and he says Avengers Doomsday will end with a cliffhanger, which I'm not really a fan of hearing this at the moment. I would rather have watched it and instead of anticipating the cliffhanger. But he says no one is safe, everyone is expendable. Now,
wow.
I know this isn't a Doomsday trailer reaction or a Doomsday video, but I just saw this and I wanted to bring it up to you guys. But what do you guys think about him coming out and telling us there's a cliffhanger, and then him saying that everyone is expendable? I find that really weird.
That is weird. I mean, the everyone's expendable thing. I think that part of it might be smart because you're kind of putting you're inserting like heavy stakes into this story. Mm-hmm. Like just because your favorite character is dope and they're like one of the main headliners, they're not safe. So I think that line right there, super smart for him to say that. You know what I'm saying? But the cliffhanger thing, I don't know if Marvel is happy about that.
I'm the opposite. I think it was like the opposite way. I think as far as like the cliffhanger, I don't think was really an issue because I've already anticipated for it to be a cliffhanger because it has to move into Secret
Wars, yeah.
So well, that's fair.
Really wasn't like a surprise, but for him to come out and say anyone's expendable, we're kind of like you're leaking that, okay, an important character may be dying in Doomsday. I don't know how much Marvel would have wanted that to be mentioned. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Marvel is the most mad about that comment because that comment right there with the expendable is like you're right, George. You're kind of alluding to the fact that like he's saying someone big is going to go without saying it.
Oh my God, RDJ's dying again.
He's dying again. He's gone. Yeah, I don't know. That's wild to me. That's absolutely wild.
I don't know how I feel about this, bro. And it's from Collider, which is a huge source.
Oh yeah.
So,
but Anthony Mackie has been with Marvel for quite some time. I don't think that he would just go out and say something like that without maybe getting like the heads up, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
true.
No, Mackie's a good dude. I like Mackie a lot. He's fun, man. I think that we'll see. We'll see what happens. But George makes a good point though. Because you're going into Secret Wars. So it's going to have to be a cliffhanger to some degree. You know what I'm saying? Degree. So right. I get that. But man, we'll see.
To go back to Fantastic Four, guys, I do think, and I really, really believe this, that it is going to be a neck and neck race when it comes to Superman and Fantastic Four, when it comes to box office. I don't know as far as who's going to win. If I had to say it, it would be Superman because of we haven't seen a Superman movie in a while. We haven't seen James Gunn produce a Superman movie. I really, really believe that it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. But I'm so excited for this movie, bro. I do think it's going to, like you said, for DC, it's kind of resetting. Yep. The DCU. I believe that Fantastic Four is essentially resetting the MCU in a different way than DCU is, but right. it is definitely setting a tone for movies to come, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree with you, Tones. And the interesting thing about the Superman stuff is DC has the most iconic superheroes. I mean, the MCU has done a really, really good job at making Iron Man a household name. But really, before that movie, he really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but Superman has always been that household name. So this is a big movie, Superman. I mean, if this movie hits, if this movie delivers, I could see it beating Fantastic Four just off of it being freaking Superman, dude. Like, it's Superman.
Yep. 100% agree.
Wagers.
I know we should. Because we start doing some wagers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be interesting, but I think both movies ultimately will do very well. I think both movies will perform, but we'll see who wins, I'm rooting for both though. I'm rooting for both. I think both of these look like quality films, and I want to reward quality.
But I do agree with you, OG. I feel like I'm leaning more towards Fantastic Four because I'm more of a Marvel kind of person as far as like with the newer aged movies.
Yeah.
But Superman is more seasoned. He's more identifiable. He's more recognizable. He's had more screen time than probably any other superhero. Go all the way back from to Christopher Reeve, and then forward. It's like, which, by the way, I have to say, Christopher Reeve, God bless him, the goat of being Superman.
Oh, absolutely. No. And here's the thing: it's like having like in terms of animation, right? It'd be like, like Superman is like a Mickey Mouse movie essentially, and then Fantastic Four is like Sylvester and Tweety, which is fine, but like it's still, this is Mickey Mouse right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, it's hard. I mean, man, Superman, I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting, and I like the vibe, that the tone and the vibe that James Gunn's going with, because a lot of people criticized Zack Snyder for kind of going a little too dark, a little too what's that word for it? It's like brooding, I think it is, or something like that.
I'm not too sure.
Or gritty, I guess you can say.
Oh, gritty. Okay.
Yeah. And like, I feel like James Gunn is bringing like the kind of like that ray of light version of the character back, which I think a lot of people wanted, so we'll see.
By the way, you brought up Zack Snyder. People, you guys need to stop hating on this man. He is a great director. I am legit in shock when I was doing a Rebel Moon review about how many people hated this movie. And everything, the storyline, action, the slow motion that Zack Snyder uses, it like everything about that movie was so fun to watch, bro. That's dope. I'm getting comments of people saying this movie was terrible. Like big people like who do reviews that I follow on TikTok. They're like, this Zack Snyder is a terrible director. This movie was garbage. Like, I was genuinely in shock, bro. I feel like I was in a Twilight Zone. Like, that's how bad that people were bashing this movie. And it was great, dude. It was so fun to watch.
And I haven't seen it, to be fair. I haven't seen it, but this is the issue that I have with a lot of the fandom now. It's so fucking tribal, dude. Like, it's not the movie Rebel Moon that they're actually reviewing.
It's Zack Snyder, yes.
Right. They got an axe to grind with Snyder, so we're just gonna hate it. We're gonna crap all over it and hate on it. And so lame, dude. So lame. Yep. Come on.
I totally agree. Before we get out of here, boys, any last words before we leave?
It's a good time to be a superhero fan. It's also a great time to be a film fan. This summer's gonna be a banger summer. Absolute banger. Good. And don't sleep on that Lilo and Stitch movie. I'm telling you.
Oh, good point. Good point.
I mean, really, literally run down the roster. Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, Jurassic Park Rebirth, Fantastic Four, Superman. I mean, come on. It's like
it's a lot of content, boys. Get ready. That's all I'm gonna say. A lot of content.
Let's do it.
It's so fun. But boys, I appreciate you as always coming and doing the trailer reaction with me. Guys, make sure you guys go follow him. Like I said before, everything will be in the description below. Go show some love. If you guys want to find me on social media, Tones_TV on TikTok and X. Go to my YouTube channel, Bad Thoughts Podcast as well, where we do a bunch of cool stuff over there. But subscribe to the channel. Catch you on the next one. Love y'all.